the press had the obligation to tell us, but because it's such
I mean,
an
we should give credit
incestuous.
where it's due. The Republican press, the right-wing press, Fox News, and even they didn't really do that much.
No, they
about
really didn't. And when they did talk about it, it was always with a chortle and a sneer. And that's not how you cover this kind of story, because it is tragic. Because like I mentioned earlier, Ted and I have dealt with family members, as I'm sure most of the people listening and watching right now, we've had dealt with a family member who's dealt with dementia. It's tough.
Sure.
It's difficult. So we weren't saying it, but the right-wing press was like chortling about it.
To the extent that they talked about it at all. But they did talk about it a little bit.
They did a little bit, but not.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, oh, Joe, look at him. He's falling up the stairs onto Air Force One. He doesn't remember where he is. He's talking to dead people. Remember when he called out for the woman whose funeral he had attended. I mean,
wouldn't that be awesome if that person showed up? Think about it, Ted. I mean, it's a 1 in a million shot, but
is it really?
Joe Biden can raise the dead.
Well, I might vote for someone like that.
But how many times did we hear during the course of those 4 years that behind closed doors, Joe Biden has his shit together, that he is actually very conversant and so on. And now the reports are coming out that even at very small fundraisers, he had to have a teleprompter to say, hello, how are you? That's how far gone this guy is. I mean, have we heard from him since?
No. And I guess he did. I did see a couple of days ago, there was some kind of, I don't know if it was a video or a photo originally. I just saw the photo of him chit-chatting, hobnobbing with an Amtrak employee on the line between Wilmington, Delaware and Washington that he was famous for taking often. And I mean, he's around a little bit, but I mean, look, as tragic as it is, I got to say, there's a higher, much bigger issue than one old man starting to lose it. And that issue is he was the president of the United States. And like, it's unconscionable that such an important job was allowed to stay in this man's hands ostensibly, A, and B, if the fallback is, don't worry, he's got all the best and brightest people behind the scenes. Okay, so that's not our system. We don't tell school children we elect a cabal of hidden technocrats behind the scenes to run the president, while some empty suit is pretending to play the job on TV. That's not our. If we want to have that system, we can do that, but that's not our system. We don't vote for that. So it's a lie. It's fraud, and it's. It belies democracy. And, I mean, it also, even if you don't care about that, if you're a Democrat, this has completely destroyed the Democratic Party brand for the foreseeable future.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
What's the brand? The brand is, unlike the Republicans and Trump, who lie like the day is long, we tell you the truth. Not so much, right? I mean, how can they possibly say they're any better than Donald Trump? Oh, Trump lies more. Trump lies about what he said about Zelensky. It takes 50,000 Trump lies to add up to a big blockbuster lie like this thing about about Biden being senile. That's the mother of all lies. There are no lies that come close to that. It's insane.
And that's another aspect of the story. And then we're going to tie things up here.
Yep.
But is that now I'm having a senior moment. See, we should talk about that sometime.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be president.
I'm not going to be. I can promise you I will not run. If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve. But with the other part of the story that is being widely ignored is the fact that where was I going with this? Was not just the press lied but that the Democrats, many, many, many Democrats, and you've seen the polls on this, are really profoundly, significantly pissed off at the Democratic Party for lying to them about Joe Biden. They're very pissed off at the press. That's why what's happening at the Washington Post, people aren't that pissed off there because the people who were paying attention said, you guys didn't cover that. Fuck you. We're done.